What's up Rocketers, it's Octa, back for yet another Rocket League video. For today's video, we are going to be learning how to air dribble. I'm going to take you step by step in a custom training and in free play to teach you, if you have no idea what you're doing at the start, to become an expert air dribbler. And you may be wondering, well, where are your credentials? Are you like a supersonic legend that's really good at air dribbling? Well no, I'm actually only Diamond 3, but I think it's better for you to watch someone that's closer ring to you air dribble, because you have more of a connection towards them. Like obviously, Pulse OSM or someone like that, he probably has a air dribbling tutorial out and you could watch his and he's probably a lot better at it. But I think it's better for you to watch this video because I am closer ring to you and we can connect more in terms of rank. So without further ado, let's go into some of my clips and then I'll take you into a custom training and I'll teach you how to air dribble. So before we jump into how to air dribble, I want to go into why you should air dribble even if you're a low rank. So I started learning how to air dribble when I was silver, which seems crazy. Like obviously I'm silver, you know, I'm not mechanical at all. I whiff the ball all the time. It's like how am I supposed to learn how to air dribble? Well, for one, I did it because I really wanted to. So if you really want an air dribble, no matter what rank you are, you should go for it. Because, yeah, it might not be the most effective in game. You might not have the opportunity very many times in games. But it helps with your aerial skills and your off-the-wall skills, which are two very important aspects of the game. So even though you won't be scoring that many air dribble goals in a game, I think it's still really good to learn, especially if you're interested in learning how to air dribble. Okay, so the best way I think to start off learning air dribbles is to go into this training pack. I'll have the code in the description of the video, so be sure to check that out. This training pack is really good for beginners because it just keeps everything controlled so you can really work on your setup, because the setup is the #1 most important part of an air dribble. So let's go ahead and watch this first air dribble I do on this training pack, and then we'll go through and break it down. So obviously just right now we're just watching. Boom. Effective air dribble. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the start and we're going to break it down. So the first thing you want to make sure you're doing when you go in this training pack is you want to be trailing the ball at a respectable speed and distance. So when you're going up the wall, or when you're following it, you want to keep a decent amount of distance. So right when the ball starts rolling up the wall, you want to have about this amount of distance. Obviously it doesn't have to be perfect, but I see a lot of people that start air dribbling, they tend to follow the ball too close and therefore it just goes straight up and they can't get a good setup off of it. So the first thing you want to make sure you do is make sure you have good distance. So right here, this is about the distance you want. And also the second most important part of, or not the second most important part, but the second part of your setup is the angle in which you hit the ball off the wall. And this angle differs. For this shot, you don't want to have too much of an angle because the goal is pretty close. But if you were further down the field, then you'd want to have more of an angle. You just want to make sure you angle your car perfectly to hit the goal. So right here, this is about the angle that you want to have. So now you're going up at about the same speed as the ball. You don't want to be going too much faster than the ball because then the ball will be far out of distance and you'll have to catch up to it, and that's not what you want. And if you hit it too soft, then you're not going to get any height on it. So you want to be going about the same speed as the ball. And right here, boom, you touch it, and what you want to do after you touch it is what I do is I pretty much jump off the wall a split second after I touch it. Some people wait a little bit, and that's really your choice. If you wait a little bit, you're gonna have to go catch up to the ball. I jump off the wall immediately. And what you're gonna wanna do is, if you haven't already started using directional air roll, I would recommend binding that to your controller, or if you're using keyboard, it's Q and E. I would definitely start doing that. What air roll do I use here? I use both of them. Right here I use right air roll. So you're going to want to air roll right when you go off the wall. You can notice I'm not boosting or anything yet. You don't have to boost right away. So I just pretty much air roll, get my ball, or my car right under and slightly behind the ball. So after this, so yeah, you want to be pretty much touching the bottom of the ball. It depends how high your car is. If you need to get height on the ball, obviously have your car touch further down on the ball. If you need to go down, you touch higher on the ball. But this is about the sweet spot for this current setup. And pretty much, once you get to this part, this is the easiest part of an air dribble. Actually air dribbling. We're already done with the hardest part. That is the hardest part, and that's going to take you a lot of time to get used to and learn. But this is really the easiest part. You just have to make sure you don't mess up. This is pretty much just aiming it to the top half of the net, really. And yeah, there's nothing really too complex about that last part. It's just the follow through. And you can see I got a little bar down action there, a little double tap, and yeah. So let's go into another one. Alright, so let's look at another shot. I haven't actually watched this one before, so let's see how it goes. We'll just watch it through once and then go through all the steps a second time to refresh your memory. Alright, so it looks like I did actually mess up the setup a little bit. So let's go back and take a look at the setup and go through it. So I'm following the car, matching its speed. Very important to match the ball speed. You don't have to be going at the exact speed, but matching it approximately is very important. And so here I'm going up the wall. I think I'm a little, my angle isn't perfect, but it's good enough. I think I'm a little bit too close to the ball as it goes up though. So yeah. I was a little bit too close, and the ball goes really high because of that. But this is very salvageable. So yeah, let's just go back a second. So I have a decent angle. Actually, no. I was saying earlier my angle wasn't good, but this is actually a really good angle. It's going straight towards the net, right towards the middle of the net. But the one problem is I was a little bit too close to the ball, and it's kind of going high. But let's go on to the next step, jumping off the wall once. You never want to double jump off the wall until you get really experienced. The only reason you jump twice, like use your flip to jump off the wall, is if the ball's really far away, and that's a really advanced mechanic. Pro players do it all the time. I'm not even that good at it right now, so don't worry about double jumping off the wall. Just single jump, and then use your directional air roll, like we said in the last shot, to spin your car around and just try and position your car right under the ball like this. When you're in this position, you should feel 100% comfortable that you're going to hit the shot. And if you're going to miss a shot, it's because you hit the crossbar at the top, because you're that good that you just hit it high. So yeah, like I said, this is the easiest part. The ball is pretty high in the air, so I'm going to have to make sure I don't hit it too much, or else I'm going to hit the backboard. So as you can see, I get one good touch. I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm a little bit too high. So I kind of just don't really touch it. I kind of just guide it. I'm really just guiding it. I'm not even dribbling it, you know? I'm just guiding it at this point. And boom, top half the net. So that's what I would recommend when you're starting to learn how to air dribble. Go into this free play. Code is in the description. And just go through all those setup steps, because guys, I know you always hear this, but the setup is the most important part. Like, you can give the best air dribbler in the world a horrible setup and he'll never be able to make the shot. You could give a bad air dribbler the best setup in the world and he'll be able to make the shot, you know? The setup is so important. If you don't get a good setup, you're not going to be able to air dribble it. So just try and work on that setup, get it really consistent, and then we'll go on to the next step of learning how to air dribble. Alright guys, for the next step of learning how to air dribble, once you have the custom training part of it somewhat consistent, I would say start moving into a free play, because custom training is really just to get you started and to keep all of your setups pretty consistent so that you can really just work on air dribbling and your setup and not like everything else, you know? So what I would recommend when you're starting to take the shot is you can really just experiment with where you want to start shooting, but what you'll find is in games most of the time you'll be shooting around the mid boost because you need boost to do an air dribble. So I would just recommend doing that, just getting your car near the boost and just air dribbling. Like that wasn't the best air dribble, but like I said, I'm only Diamond 3. I'm not the best, but I can connect with you guys because, you know, I'm not the highest rank, but I can still air dribble, so I can teach you guys, and we're around the same rank. So yeah, I would just keep practicing hitting air dribbles around the mid boost because it's the most common thing. You need to practice your setups. Now I didn't really get that close to the mid boost there, but yeah, it's fine. Just as long as you're getting your practice done, you're getting consistent at them. That's the most important part, really. Boom. See, like, I didn't make that, but I was just trying to get a nice little bar action in there. So once you follow the steps, you know, you're going through your setup steps, you're following the ball at the same speed. Once you got all that stuff down, what I would recommend is doing air dribbles in free play like this, and this time, you just try and get as much height on the ball as you can. You're just trying to hit the backboard. Boom. Way above the net. And what this does is it helps you get height on the ball. That's one of the hardest things when you're starting out is getting height on the ball. You'll find that you might be able to get a little air dribble in, but it bounces before it hits the net. What I would recommend is just practice your air dribbling, but get as much height on it. Like, that wasn't the best, but you see, I kept it up for quite a while, you know? So yeah, just keep practicing this. Maybe even try starting from further back and see if you can get the ball above the net and hitting the backboard. Like, boom, that was really high. If you're able to do that consistently like I can, you will be more than capable of hitting the top half of the net with your air dribbles consistently in a game. Just remember, guys, this mechanic, it takes a long time to learn, especially if you're new to the game. So just keep trying, and eventually, you know, you'll get there. It takes time. Like I said, I started learning in silver. It takes time to learn, especially if you're a low rank. If you're higher rank, it might be faster, but I would definitely say this is one of the longest things, if not the longest mechanic for me to learn. Currently, I'm learning how to do musty double taps, which I'll have a video out on that. Probably not that soon because it takes a long time. It's a long process, but yeah, there will be a video out on that eventually. Here, I can actually go for that. Let me actually go for one right here. You guys can see my progress on musty double taps. But yeah, no, I'm kind of in the same realm with musty double taps as you guys are air dribbles. Like, I'm still learning. Like, it takes a long time to learn this. But yeah, with anything else in life, you know, just keep at it. You'll eventually get it. You will eventually get it. And once you're finally able to get it consistently, it'll feel so good. You'll start being able to use it in games. It's just awesome. So just keep at it, guys. That's the end of the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. And tell me if you guys want me to make a ceiling shot training video, because I would definitely be down for that. I've been working on my ceiling shots as well. As I just completely mess up my flip. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's the end of the video. Until next time, though, it's been your boy, anoctalog.